Let's get you updated on our grain trade and on the corn market right now. We'll see if we're moving one way or the other. We had an overnight export sale of corn, and it was to Mexico, but not much movement here in the corn market so far. We have July just one tick lower, 1/4 cent lower at 3.15 1/4. December down 1 3/4 right now. On the soybean market, we're just a touch firmer, and July up 3/4. We're now at 8.37 1/4. We have November unchanged at 8.45 3/4. And let's move on to our wheat trade. In Chicago, we have July down 4 at 5.15 1/2. Meanwhile, in the Kansas City market, kind of a tough go today. We're down 8 cents on July at 4.79 per bushel. Minneapolis wheat currently has July trading a penny lower at 5.07 1/4. Well, I want to go to the phone and welcome our regular contributor at this time of the week. It's Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland. He joins us right now with an outlook about what's going on there. And it looks like you've got some unsettled weather in your part of the country too there, Ben.
Good morning, Marlin. We have continued a pattern. I think I could just call in the same story, but a little different this week. Tim Ross sent us 2 pretty significant rainstorms since you and I talked last Tuesday. Then Monday, yesterday, the wind blew, the sun was out, it was warm. So we've definitely seen a change, and we're not having as many cold mornings. But folks are back out in the field today. Really one of the best days we've seen in the field in probably 5-6 weeks.
Well, I know you sent in some photos. What are the producers up to this week?
So tried to find a corn planter or somebody drilling soybeans this morning, and I know they're out there because I saw lots of traces of them. But folks saw some rye chopped or getting ready to be chopped. We've got, as you mentioned, another rain event coming in tonight, tomorrow. But today, soil's a little cool, warmed up about 4 degrees since the last time we talked. But folks are getting out, and I can't prove it to you with pictures, but they are planting corn and soybeans in our part of the world today.
Ben, most of the Corn Belt is ahead of schedule this year when it comes to spring crop planting, row crop planting. How are they doing where you are in the progress, do you think?
Well, sometimes it depends on what your benchmark is. I talked to a young man last weekend, and Garrett told me May 2nd of last year, they had 700 acres of corn in the ground. May 2nd of this year, they were in the 100 range. Now, last year was an early year. We had a nice dry spell in April. Ground temperature was nice, and it was just fit for planting. So folks were way ahead of schedule in our geography last year. So I haven't seen the state numbers, but in our community, we are certainly behind the last 5-year average, but I don't know how far behind at the moment.
All right. Well, every year is different, that is for sure. And thank you for the update, Ben. Good to hear from you again. Ben Hushon of the Mill in Whitehall, Maryland. We'll pause for a break right here, and we'll take a look at our livestock information right after this. Let's get you updated now on our livestock trade today. And as we take a look at our live cattle market, let's go to the board in Chicago, where we continue to have some lower prices here. We have the June contract now 92 cents lower. Last trade is 87.15, and this is after a high early this morning of 88.90. So you can tell by that we have dropped about $1.75 or so. We currently have the August contract 92 lower as well, and it's now trading at 92.15. And the other deferred months are just about as much to the downside, not quite. Now let's take a look at the feeder cattle market, and in the early going today, we have triple-digit losses across the board. Remember, everything was pretty much higher yesterday. We have the May feeders now quoted at $117.90 per hundredweight. That would be down $1.17. We have the August contract at $1.75 lower for the biggest drop of the group, and that is now priced at $127.22 per hundredweight, and that is $2.50, just about, off of its earlier high this morning. So quite a drop there. September down $1.33 right now. Let's move on to our lean hog trade and check it out. On the lean hogs, we have the May contract now down $2.35, even though it was up over $4 yesterday. So a little profit taking perhaps taking place in the hogs the way it looks. We have the May contract at $65.40 per hundredweight, and that's $2.15 off its earlier high this morning. Excuse me, $1.15. And let's take a look at June. We're down 70 cents there at $64.80. Now, we had the cash cattle market on our livestock summary from yesterday. Pretty quiet, not much going on live cattle basis out there. We did have just a few head that sold in Iowa. They brought 152 per hundredweight on a dressed basis. So as usual, when it's early in the week like that, not a whole lot going on. And not enough to establish a market trend when it comes to the live hogs nationwide. However, on carcass basis hogs, the average price was down 64 cents yesterday, where we were at $36.84 per hundredweight. As far as those beef cutouts go yesterday, big, huge jump again in the choice cut. We had it up 32.60 in the afternoon update, all the way up to 410.05 per hundredweight. Selects were 19.53 higher at 376.66 per hundredweight. Pork carcass cutout values were up $1.20 at 107.81. Loins were up 5.73. Hams were down 54 cents. Bellies were up $1.24. Well, we had some fed cattle information from Ed Sherwin of CZ Cattle Market Analytics in Amarillo, Texas. Cash volume was 46,271. That was down 835 head from the week before. Formula volume 147,229. That was down 15,364. The average live price 98.18. That was up $1.49. The carcass price was up just a nickel at 154.36. The average formula price was down $4.73 at 164.61. National steer carcass weight was 889 last week. That was up 3 cents from the week before. The spread, Choice Select spread, was $20.32, up quite a bit from the week before. Janet?